Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, Junior with Classic VW Bucks. So here, brainstorming how I can get back to work with Harley, my 73 Westfalia. It's been 3 months after my rotator cuff surgery, and it's been some of the 3 longest months of my life, not being able to do anything and just sit. I'm recovering well, but I think the hardest part for me is dealing with the fact that I am supposed to be patient and not break the rules about going to work and do any hard work. And when we restore our cars, that's pretty much what we do. We put in a lot of hard work to get things done in a speedily manner, right? So I was thinking, what can I do? I mean, I just started this last therapy doing something different. They started like adding weights to my right arm during my therapy sessions, and I'll tell you what, I'm gonna tell you something that is kind of funny for me. I had been this one day that, you know, at the therapy facility doing my exercises, and right by the end of the therapy they added the weights, and I have been doing these other therapy exercises, and I see my therapist come with a 1 pound weight dumbbell in his hand, and inside I laughed. I'm thinking, 1 pound 1 pound, okay. So I keep on, you know, with a positive attitude and following the guidance from my therapist about the exercise that I was about to perform. And surprisingly enough, I had to laugh then about myself, because I could barely lift that 1 pound dumbbell after all of the other exercises that I had done. I mean, I was able to, but it was sort of like a challenge. But that's where we are at. And so I just wanted to give you an update in regards to my rotator cuff surgery after 3 months. So next, what I'm gonna try to do is, because I can now do some light movements and light work, I'm gonna try to do something with my left hand, obviously. Which I have to mention something else. Be mindful about what you do and when you do it and how you do it, because the fact is that you can actually injure your other arm. And I think that's kind of like my case. I develop a tennis elbow on my left hand for overcompensating, doing things with my left hand that I could not do with my right hand out of desperation. Trying to help around the house, you know, trying to pick up grocery bags and things like that, trying to pull a cart, you know, and, you know, full of groceries and things like that. I develop a tennis elbow that now I have to work with. It seems like when I get done with my therapy on my right arm, I may have to jump into therapy for my left hand too. But anyway, it's not as bad as my right hand, because right now there's nothing I can do in regards to work that I could or want to do, lifting things like the front end, you know, beam of my bus, which is pretty heavy, which is pretty much where I left before I went to surgery. So today the plan is to get back and do some light work in the bus. So I'll leave it right there, and I'll bring you back when I have geared up and I'm ready to go work, okay? So my goal today is to be able to wire brush some of those areas right there and apply some POR 15. That's the goal. Let's see if I can make that happen. Okay, so today all I got left to do is from here, from this section here down to here, and up to right here. As you can see, this has already been painted and treated with POR 15, so that's the goal today. Let's see how I can let's see how far I can get with this attempt to finish this bottom section so that I can start doing some of the mechanical work, like installing brake lines and cleaning the gas tank and reassembling things back together to see if I can make this move on its own power, you know, and begin to enjoy it as a running project. Let's see what happens. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, friends, so we are underneath the bus, and it's really hard to give you a good clip here because it's the lighting is not great, it's poor. But I wire brushed the best I could. It's really hard to work with just one hand. And so there are some sections right there that I did some welding, and I did not have any seam sealer to apply over it. Those were two patches that I did on the top, and the penetration was actually shown here. And because this is an area that it's not about the aesthetics, it's about the quality and being sound, I just applied a little bit of fiberglass filler on top of it because I did not have any seam sealer. And so I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm just going to scuff it off with some 80 grit sandpaper so that I can apply some paint over it, and that's going to be it. I'm okay with that. This is an area where we're going to have a transmission, you know, in here. It's not like this has to be like really show quality finish in here, but rather, you know, more something that would extend the life of it and it's functional. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna go ahead and begin to prep for painting.
I'm gonna go get some of the rusty silver and then apply it over it, let it bit for 30 minutes, and then gonna come back with a rack and wipe it off and then start painting it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done, and I'll bring you back when I'm ready to do that.
Okay friends, so I am ready to do some surface prep, and I'm going to be using the 3-step POR15 process. It comes with a degreaser. This one can be diluted 1 part degreaser, 4 parts of water. Then once you do that, you apply that, you rinse it with water, then you come back with the metal prep. You apply it, you let it be on it for 30 minutes, and then you come back and rinse it again with water. Then once that it's all done and the surface is dry completely, then you get one of these POR15 paint and apply it. I personally like to use these 4-ounce cans because they come in smaller sizes, and you can open 1 can and use it all. And if you have anything like left, it's going to be very, it's not going to be very much that you're going to be wasting. So one thing to mention about this product is that it is so strong that if you pour this over to another container and you forget to clean this lid here and you put the cover back on, you're not going to get it out. So you'll have to rip it apart, just like I had to do with this one the last time I used one. Well, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. This is a boring process, but pretty much I'll just give you an explanation on how I do it. I basically spray the degreaser, which I already have some prep here. I let it sit for about 10-15 minutes, and then I apply the metal prep. I let that sit on it for 30 minutes. Then I take my water hose and I hose it down. And then I get my blower or my air hose, and then I just blow everything with compressed air to make sure everything is dry. And then you go ahead and take one of your little cans right here. You can apply this with a roller, a brush, a sponge, whatever you like. I always use a brush. So that's pretty much it. So you saw what it looks like now. I'm gonna go ahead and give you one last look of the underneath of that area, and then I'll do the painting. I'm not gonna bore you to death with the application process and the painting. When I'm done, I'll go ahead and bring you back and show you the end result. So let's get down in here real quick, and let's take one last look here. So as you can see, I already did an application here the last time I stopped right here. So I need to go from here over down to right there. And once that's done, then I can come back later on and spray it like I did the engine bay up there. But that's pretty much it. So pretty straightforward. I'm gonna go ahead and apply that degreaser, get out any contaminants, if any, in there, and then water hose it, apply metal prep, and that's it. So this is the before. Let's bring some lighting in here, because that's what it looks like now. And then I'll bring you back when I'm done, okay?
Okay, so this is what I have done so far. I applied the degreaser, I rinsed it, and then I applied the metal prep from POR15. It's been now 30 minutes, so I'm about to wrap the water hose right now and go ahead and rinse it again one more time. Okay, I'll bring you back when I'm done.
Well, this is how much I have done so far. This is time consuming. I started to brush on the POR15, but there's so many things in there that you can't really go fast. And there's some crevices and some nukes in there that you have to get the paint in it. I guess that's why they sell the POR15 in a spray can, to use it in areas like this. I may entertain buying one of those, but honestly, the part that took me some time was the part where I degreased it. I had to water hose it down. I let it dry. Then I applied the metal prep. I had to wait 30 minutes. Then I had to come back and water hose it again, rinse it with water, and then I had to get my compressed air and start like blowing all around so that I could get all of that water out and dry it out. And then I had to wait for it to dry, and so it was not really drying because it's cold. And so the last thing I did, I took my heat gun and I started like heating, all the way around, so until like all of the remnants of the water actually evaporated. I guess I'll have to finish it tomorrow. All right, so I'll leave it right there for now.
Okay, friends, so I think that as far as rust protection and trying to treat and protect the underneath of the bus, I think that's pretty much it for this video. I may come back and touch up some areas with a aerosol can. It's really cumbersome to do it with a brush. There's some areas where like you have some crannies and some little nooks in there that you can't really reach with a brush, but for the most part, this is it. I think that looks pretty good. I may entertain the idea to just leave it black. I think I kind of like the way it looks, and then the contrast of the real orange here on the engine bay versus the black over there. I think that looks pretty neat. Well, let me know what you think in your comments, if I should paint it or not. But I think that for the most part, I kind of like the fact that I think black, it's a color that you can actually easily touch up if you need be, as opposed to trying to get the real orange paint. But I think I like it. So there are areas of the underneath that I still have to work on, like the outside skirt of the bus. This section's right here, I have to paint with POR15. I have already treated them with the step 1 and step 2 of the POR15, but I think that these areas here, I may have to scuff them more with an 80 grit sandpaper. One of the things about POR15 is that it does not work very well if you don't scuff off the surface. It works really well if the surface has got some surface rust. That's why it's called paint over rust, right? But I think that for this video, I'm just gonna leave it right there. And then again, I may just come back with a aerosol can and touch up the areas where I was not able to get to easily. Okay, friends, so that's pretty much it for this video. I am back. It's been 3 long months of not being able to do nothing after my rotator cuff surgery, but slowly I have been recovering and I'm back. I'm gonna see what I can do without risking a chance that I might hurt myself, on how I can get to the bus and slowly get it back, to where I want it to be. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, I want to thank you for that. I really appreciate all of the support I can get in my channel. And also, if this is the first time that you are watching my channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Give me a big thumbs up. Until then, this is Junior with a classic VW Bucks. Junior out.